Hello and welcome to Crypto Tutorials. My name is Claudio and this is CryptoChain, the channel where I do crypto news, reviews, tutorials, and interviews. And in today's video, we'll be talking about HEX, which is a project on the Ethereum blockchain. It is an ERC20 token, which is also called HEX, just like the project. And we will be taking a quick look at the frequently asked questions so that you can understand what HEX is all about. And then I'll take a quick look at the tutorial section on their actual website where you can stake HEX and you can also unstake HEX. What are the pros and cons of doing both? Just something for you to know, of course. And for transparency reasons, this is a sponsored video. I have been sponsored by HEX in order to talk about them. So I just want to let you know that. And also, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and you can find the disclaimer in the description of the video. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get straight in and talk about HEX. So as we can see on hex.win, and again, the link can be found in the description of the video, HEX adds a staking function which pays stakers instead of miners. So they're kind of differentiating it from Bitcoin and how it's different. Now this replaces these third parties with a trustless peer-to-peer system. Instead of sending your HEX to an exchange, they can lend it out on your behalf to earn interest for you. You just send it to the same smart contract that minted all the HEX in the first place, and it credits your interest. And if you're given programmable money, the first thing you should do you should program is interest. Now, the certificate of deposit is the interesting part, right? It's one of the most popular banking products in existence. Now, HEX is the first CD on the blockchain, but it's much better than a CD because a CD won't pay you more if others decide to close their CDs. So HEX does. Now, if only 1% of coin holders stake, your return of investment per year as a staker exceeds 369%, so that is quite a lot. Now, if 10% stake, the average return of investment for stakers is 36.9%, and if 20% stake, the average return is 18.445%. Now, instead of sending you money to a foreign megacorp to buy mining equipment, which shows up late, used, or never at all, you can skip this the depreciating asset and electricity bills and just stake your coins. The longer you stake, the more bonus shares you get. And this is really why many people, I know that Richard Hart, who's the founder of HEX, has actually been going to all the different YouTubers to try to promote HEX and talk about it. But I understand why some people may be a bit wary about this. Just the fact when they hear about big returns for staking, people get concerned, right? It's like it's too good to be true. So hence why the actual price of the token, and we will take a quick look at that as well, has actually devalued quite a lot because people are actually concerned about the fact that there are big returns, right? So what happens when the period passes, like if you stake for say 1 year and then the 1 year is over, how many more people are also going to receive a lot of tokens, right? And then they're going to sell and then the price is going to dump, right? It's going to dip. So this is kind of like the concern that people have, to be honest, with HEX, and hence why there are a lot of pros and cons with it in that sense, right? You get the optimistic people, of course, that have invested in HEX, or people that have claimed free HEX, and the people that have not, and people that are worried about it, right? So of course you're going to get both sides of the coin, right? Now let's take a quick look on CoinGecko. This is where we can see about HEX, and we can see that the current price of HEX is actually 0.0001, so 3 zeros after the 1, so very, very cheap, to be honest. At the moment it is down 5.2%. The circulating supply is 3.1 billion. Okay, so hence quite a lot, right, has been actually minted. And there are a number of exchanges you can get it from. Of course, ByteDesk is one of them, which is the centralized exchange, and then EtherScan or EtherDelta and Fork Delta, I believe, is the other one, which are decentralized exchanges that you can use to log in with your Ethereum wallet. Now, if we go to the token tracker address on EtherScan, we can actually see here that the total supply is 12.6 billion HEX. So that is a lot. We've got 11,308 addresses holding HEX at the moment. The official website can be found here, and the contract address. And of course, if you actually want to get HEX, when you go to My Ether wallet, for example, or even MetaMask, you should actually add the token using this contract address, and of course make sure to add the decimals exactly as that, 8 decimals, and then you will be able to see your HEX on your address, right, in your wallet basically. If you have for example bought it from an exchange, I don't know, maybe not everybody has claimed, right? Maybe some people bought it from an exchange and they want to withdraw it and they don't see their HEX. Well, if they don't see their HEX, this is what they need to do. They need to get this contract address and add the decimals, and of course the name doesn't really matter, to be honest. I've actually tried it and I've named it something else because there's another one out there called HEX on Ethereum, but it's different, right? It is a different project. So I've actually tried to rename it. So you can name it whatever you want, like the ticker symbol doesn't have to be exactly HEX. It could be whatever you want as long as the contract address and the decimals are correct, then the amount will show in your wallet. Now, let's go to the HEX stake because this is the actual important part and the important functionality, the core functionality of HEX and how it actually works here. So we've got the transfer option there, which you can use as a wallet. You can simply send Ethereum or HEX. You can send HEX, for example, from your wallet address to another. There's the stake functionality, and this is the big one. This is where you can actually stake. You can see I've got the active stake here. I can end the stake and it shows me how much interest I can gain on the stake, and the big payday if I do wait until the stake is actually over. If I go to the end date here, I can see Saturday 2nd of January 2021 at 1 a.m. is when I can end my stake. Okay, it is a 1-year stake that I've got here. Now if I want to stake, I can just simply type, like for example, 10 HEX, and how long do I want to stake for? I can choose the date here, and again you get a warning here which says increase your stake length for bonus shares. And if I actually type 306, then that warning disappears because that's when the bonus shares come into effect. So let's say I want to do 1 day. If I click on stake, it opens the MetaMask wallet. It tells me that I need to pay the gas fee. Okay, the information will be coming from the address there, as you can see on the top, and I can confirm or reject. So let me close this down here. If we go to the claim section, right, I've actually got a Bitcoin address here, a random Bitcoin address that I actually took from the Blockchain Explorer. I just wanted to kind of have a look and see what is the implication of using Bitcoin to claim HEX, because apparently it was free. If you had Bitcoin at the time of the snapshot, you could claim HEX for free, but apparently now there is a late claim penalty that you need to pay, and it's a very, very expensive one. So obviously it's not worth claiming with your Bitcoin anymore, at least not right now, right? You cannot claim with your Bitcoin anymore because it's just not worth it financially speaking. Like for example, this guy here has a Bitcoin balance of 6.9 Bitcoin, and the late claim here, as you can see, is 0.88 Bitcoin. That is the late claim fee that he has to pay. So that is a lot of money. He will have only 6 Bitcoin, or she, it depends who this wallet belongs to. And the claim tax is 60,200. That's how much you can claim. And obviously that's how much you could have claimed for free had you done it before. But now, again, from my personal point of view, this is not a recommended option because we're talking about a huge amount of money. And this is for 6 Bitcoin, you're paying 0.8 Bitcoin. So that is a lot. That's like over 7,000 bucks, right? The refer option here, you can refer somebody if you're interested, and then they get a portion of HEX as well because they have been referred by you so that you can stake. The transform option is the one that many people have been using, and again, it is something that some people don't have any problems doing. Personally, I have not staked using Ethereum, but if you are interested, you can do so. You basically have the days here. So what happens is you actually need to send Ethereum to a smart contract, which apparently gets locked up, and you need to wait until the closing of the day so that you can receive your HEX in your wallet. So basically when you click enter here, it tells you how much Ethereum you've got available. You can click 1 here, type 1, let's say I have 0.03. So if I do that, I can just click enter and then I can confirm it and actually send it, right? So it gets sent to the smart contract and it will tell me the day when I staked, okay? And it'll tell me how much Ethereum I have actually, sorry, not the day that I staked, the date that I did the transformation from Ethereum to HEX, and of course the Ethereum, the amount of Ethereum that I actually used to transform into HEX. Okay, so this is pretty much what many people are doing. And also the other option is through exchanges. Like I said, obviously you saw the price right now. It has devalued quite a lot compared to how it was. Actually, if we go back to CoinGecko here, the circulating supply was 3.1 billion. But if we go down, where is it? All-time high, 0.001. Okay, so a tenth, just over a tenth of a cent here. Just over a tenth of a cent. It's down 92% since then. and the all-time low was actually 4 zeros, 4 decimal places after the dollar, 5.6. So very, very low price here, as we can see. So basically now it's almost twice as expensive as the all-time low. So let's go back here. So yeah, this is pretty much it here. So if we go to the stake again, just one thing that I want to talk about here is that the penalty is quite harsh, right? So for example, if you do decide to stake and you decide to stake for 1 year, but then let's say you change your mind, and let's say that after 2 or 3 days you decide to unstake, or maybe the price has gone up enough that you want to sell and you're happy to sell. Now the penalty is quite high. Basically, you can see here there's an interest rate that you get every day, and then there's the principal, which is the amount that you've actually staked. Now the interest rate does get multiplied by the number of days for that penalty fee. So for example, if you stake for 1 entire year and you decide to unstake before 90 days are over, the penalty is actually multiplied by 180, which stands for the 180 days, which is like half of the amount of time that you staked for. So basically, let's say if you're supposed to get 100 HEX per day as interest, that does get multiplied by 180, and that gets deducted from your principal stake. So that is your main stake that gets deducted from, right? Again, for some people, it may be worth it if the price when they got in was much lower and then it just increased like 2-3x, then it may be worth it, right? Because they don't want to wait so long. Like we know in the crypto space, people don't have patience anymore. And if the price increases enough, they just want to sell. But again, this is pretty much how it is, right? I mean, it's just something to keep in mind that if you end your stake, then you do need to pay quite a lot. So that is quite a big chunk, right? It does get divided by 180. Now, if you wait over 90 days, then it gets divided by 90. So again, there is a benefit to waiting 90 days apparently with your stake. So that is just something to keep in mind as well. And actually what I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to actually end my stake in this video just so I can see what the penalty is. Let me click on that. Are you sure you want to end the emergency stake? Click yes. Okay, I do need to pay the fee. Confirm. Now let's see what happens. We do need to wait for this transaction to go through, so it's going to be a little bit... Now the Ethereum blockchain is quite slow, as you know. It's not that fast, right? So it does take a while. And basically all these calculations are happening now in the back end. It is taking a good bit here, so we need to give it a bit more time. Now, so it does actually tell you the share rate as well. So this is how many people have actually that are going to get the shares, right? 99,620,000 in shares. So that is quite a bit there, as we can see here. But actually, while we're waiting for this, let's go down here. Okay, so how long will claiming be open? So 50 weeks from the contract start date, but if you don't claim early, you lose 2% of your stock every 7 days. You will almost have nothing left on week 49. Wow, that is quite a lot. How many HEX will I get? 10,000 HEX per Bitcoin, plus the speed bonus. 20% first week, plus many bonuses paid only to stakers. So you should probably stake because it can multiply your stock. Let me go back here to see if anything happened here. Still nothing yet. Still nothing. Still waiting here. Still running this transaction. Let me go back here. Okay. We can see the number of wallets which are supported. You can use, for example, Electrum. In order to claim HEX, but again, this is for Bitcoin, right? This is for This is when you had Bitcoin and you could claim HEX for free. Now again, you've seen what the fee is like, so it is quite high. Now, can I claim coins I buy after the snapshot? No, only the coins in the snapshot can claim. Coins you buy after the snapshot won't be able to claim. If they were sent to a new address, you'd have to take delivery of the private keys that were in the snapshot and unclaimed. And trust they didn't just claim anyway after giving you a copy of the private keys. Basically racing you to claim. You can stake HEX coins that are unstaked whenever you like, though. It doesn't matter when you bought them. Now, this is still taking a while here. So it is a bit slow, as we can see here. Let me go back to the transform section. Okay, it's gonna take a while. I'm not sure why it's so slow, to be honest. But let me see here actually. MetaMask. Let me open MetaMask to see. Okay, so the stake end is pending. Okay, we need to wait for the confirmations. It's in the queue. Let me go here. $0.02. Okay, yeah, it is pending at the moment. You can speed it up by paying a bigger fee. So yeah, we just need to wait for all these blocks to get confirmed, basically. And until that happens, we're not going to know exactly how much. And I think I should have probably done this because this is my first time doing it. I think I should have probably done it at the beginning of the video. But it is in the queue here, so we just need to give that some time. Okay. Let's go back to the FAQ here. Can I have multiple stakes? Yes, I can. When do I get paid? When you end the stake. What's the best way to stake? You have to decide for yourself. If you want to accumulate the most HEX, it's probably best to stake for as long as you're comfortable to get the most bonus shares from the longer pays better bonus. If you stake 5 years once, you get about 100% bonus shares, which means getting paid about 2 times as much. If you stake 1 year 5 times, you only get 20% bonus. Oh, I see. Okay, so they're doing that to basically promote longer staking. Oh, this is still going on here. So I need to see if it's done. You can't modify your stake. Now you can have multiple stakes in one address. The stakers pool get paid interest. So a lot of different questions have been answered here, as you can see. Yes, and can you end your stake early? Yes, it's called an emergency end stake, which is the one that I've done here. It has a fee equal to the profit of half the weeks you committed to, and this can hit your principal, so it is going to hit my principal for the purpose of this demo. Now this is taking a while, and if it's not going to be done soon, I think I may just have to leave it and probably cover this in a news video just to kind of tell you what you could be expecting, right? Oh no, there we go. There we go. We got it now. We got it now. Okay, so we got the final value here, as we can see. The principal was 2 million. The final value is 1.95 million HEX. Okay, that is the final value that we've got here. So that is how much penalty we had to pay, right? We had to pay 40,000, right? 46,000, almost 46,000 in penalty for 2 million HEX, which was staked. So yeah, just to kind of give you an idea, I really wanted to do this just to give you an idea on what you can expect, the real expectation, because we should be transparent about what are the real expectations here if you want to unstake. So yes, this was pretty much it. I'm glad this actually completed in time to end this video as well. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you personally staked HEX? What do you think of HEX? And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.